My name is Krishna Chaitanya. I'm a PhD student in the EC department, advised by Professor Rajesh Sundaresan and Professor Anurag Kumar. We are working on developing techniques to detect failures in rotating machines. Rotating machines are found everywhere. In a network factory, as in an IoT environment, there are lots of sensors attached to all kind of machines. These sensors might be measuring vibrations, temperature, acoustic environment of the machine, current in the machine, and so on. The measurements from these sensors can be used to detect failure in the machines. It turns out that bearings are found in all kinds of machines, and defects in bearings lead are the majority cause for faults in all kinds of machines. So here we see a defect in a bearing where the bearing has a dent. When a bearing undergoes a defect, it produces a distinct vibration signals, and these vibration signals are an excellent source of detecting the defect in the bearing. And we will use these vibration signals in the work for detection of defects. Detection of defects in bearings from vibration data is a very well studied area, and there's a lot of literature in this area. Now, the literature can be divided broadly into two approaches. One is a data-driven approach and then signal processing approach. The data-driven approaches are primarily classification-based methods. Neural networks-based methods are also into this category, where they look as to whether the a signal that is arriving right now is close to a normal operating bearing or is it close to a defective bearing. If it's close to defective bearing, you declare an error that there's a defect. The signal processing methods, they assume a certain structure for the signal and then they look for that structure to detect defects. But it turns out that a systematic sequential method, which is also online and is optimal in some sense, is missing. So in our work, we look for such methods. So this is our problem. We are given samples xi at time I of the vibration signal. So we have to decide between two hypotheses, H0 or H1. H0 being that the bearing is continuing to be in the normal working state. When H1 is reached, it has reached a defective state. So the decision rule is a stopping time n, the time at which we decide that the bearing has entered a defective state and the algorithm stops there. The constraint is an average run length to false alarm constraint. What this means is that let's say that the bearing actually is in normal working state, and then we falsely declare it to be in the defective state. So our average run length, the run length of false alarm decides as to how long we wait before we enter into a defective state. The average of that is called the average run length to false alarm. What are we trying to optimize? We are trying to minimize the detection delay. That is, in the minimax formulation, the detection delay is defined as follows. Now, an optimal rule will minimize the detection delay subject to the constraint that the average run length to false alarm is above some gamma. We want the average run length to false alarm to be as large as possible. So we have now defined the problem that we want to solve. Now we model the vibration signal and we develop sequential detectors for those models. In our first model, we assumed that the observations xi are IID with a distribution p theta naught before the change and are IID with a distribution p theta 1 after the change. Now p theta naught, p theta 1 themselves are picked from sets theta naught and theta 1 using a prior theta naught, pi naught and pi 1. These priors are assumed to be conjugate priors. Of course, we don't know the actual value of the parameters theta naught and theta 1 themselves. We have to estimate those parameters using the priors. Now, under this model, we derive sequential detectors, and the detector's performance is compared against the existing metrics, existing um, detection tests, which use metrics such as kurtosis and Malnovis distance. We also check this detector with real-world data from actual bearing data sets. In the previous model, we assumed that the observations are IID. However, the real-world signal suggested that the vibration signal observations are in fact not IID. Look at the power spectral density of the vibration signal far before the changes occurred, just around the change point, and far after the changes occurred. Note that it is sparse. Just as before, we have unknown parameters which we'll have to estimate. However, now with the knowledge that this PSD is sparse, we can see that the number of parameters that are to be estimated decrease, and so this betters the performance of the algorithm. Just as before, we have conjugate priors on the parameters, and we use these to estimate the parameters. And we develop a GLR type sequential test. That is, we take the ML estimate of the of the parameters, and we develop a sequential test based on that, and we check its performance. Currently we are working on a slightly different frequency domain model that, and developing sequential tests for that model.